What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Tuesday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Now, of course, I'll be back tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda, but until then, I'm going to fill you in on lots of information around Mohamed Salah, including the dates he's going off to the AFCON, interest from the Saudi Pro League, as well as Arna having a win-win situation. That and lots more coming up over the next few minutes. We'll talk about Antoine Semenyo a little bit as well, as we may have some bad news on that front. So I do want to know your opinion, ladies and gents. Let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video, and of course, if you haven't subscribed, would love you to do so. I'm going to get straight into it because I want to open up with a bit from Paul Joyce, who confirms that Arne Slot said Mohamed Salah will go to the African Cup of Nations on December the 15th. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means, of course, he's available for the game this weekend against Leeds and also the game Brighton and Hove Albion at home at Anfield. After that, he will head off to the AFCON. So 3 more games to go for Mo. This game tomorrow night, the game against Leeds at the weekend, and of course the game against Brighton and Hove Albion. There were some fears that he may go as early as the 6th of the 7th, so this is certainly good news for Arne, and as it gives him more options for the 3 games coming up. Now, we will talk about those options for the manager in a couple of moments' time, but for now, I want to just give you some words from Arne about Mohamed Salah and how he reacted to being left out of the team for the recent game. He said, of course, a player isn't happy if he's not starting, but he was very supportive of his teammates. He's a top professional. This is good to hear. I don't expect the manager to say anything different, mind you, but look, he is a top professional. We know that from the way he lives his lifestyle, the way he trains. We've always known he's a top pro. But hopefully he was as supportive as the manager mentioned. Now Mo will most likely get his chance tomorrow against Sunderland to come back in and show that the team is better with a minute. So let's see what happens. This one here from Alex Crook, and it is about the interest from the Saudi Pro League in Mohamed Salah. He writes that Mohamed Salah remains firmly on the radar of Saudi Pro League clubs. It is believed that Al Hilal are a leading contender, as well as Al Qadsiya have also expressed an interest in signing him. Doesn't go on to say whether this would be a longer term thing in 18 months when his contract's up, or whether this would be something they're trying to do sooner. Honestly, at this point, I think it'll come down to how he performs in the team with Arne over the next few months. You know, if he can re-establish himself, get back to goal scoring form, then it's a win-win for everybody. If he can't, then there might be a decision to make on his future. Right. Lewis Steele, speaking about that win-win, said this. This is now a win-win situation for Arne Slot. Mohamed Salah could come back with a bang and prove wrong anyone who genuinely believed Liverpool are better off without him. Or, if he does not, the Reds boss knows he now has a team that can function as a well-oiled unit without Mohamed Salah. It is an interesting one because, like I've said many times, when Mo goes off to the AFCON, which we now know will be after the Brighton game, Arne has this period where there's no scrutiny on him. The media aren't writing stories about why he isn't starting Salah. The fans aren't questioning the situation. We just have this time where he can try to figure it out. He can try to find a balance that works. And then, as we mentioned before, if Mo comes back in and can add to that group, happy days, win-win for everybody. On Isak, Wirtz and Joe Gomez, the manager said this about them. They're not able to play 3 times 90 minutes, that's for sure. Speaking about the amount of games we have in such a short period. Now, what I don't know about this is if he means we'll see another 76 minutes, let's say, from Isak and Wirtz before he makes a change, or whether he won't be able to start all of these games. So we'll try to figure that one out as we go along. But for tomorrow, let's just hope that we do have everybody available that, well, we think should be available for the game if there are no new injury concerns for the manager. On that, again, he said this, I don't think they can play 3 times in a week. Now we have to wait to see if they can be involved from the start on Wednesday. All 3 can feature in all 3 games. So again, kind of something and nothing there. I guess maybe the manager's going to have to prioritise which games are more difficult, which players suit which game. But either way, we need to make sure that we keep these guys fit. Don't overwork them. Don't overload them, particularly the likes of Isak and Wirtz, who are coming back from knocks and groin strains. So, yeah, fingers crossed, because we don't want any more injuries coming into what is a very, very busy festive period. James Pearce said this. Slot on being told about the social media abuse that he's had. And Slot replied, after the City game, I expected it more after the Forest game. But either way, talking to him about the social media abuse he's received, I don't like the wording of that, by the way. I'm sure he has received some of it. But also he's received some fair criticism from people. It's always like you can't do anything without it being toxic or without it being hate. I'm sure that there are fans who are being idiots on social media and spewing hate, but there are also many, many, many people who just have a concern about what we've been seeing, and understandably from the start of this season. And let's not try to vilify all of those people and put them down as abuse. People like me, for instance, and many of you guys just haven't been happy with the results, and that is understandable when you've lost 3 games back to back to back by 3 goals or more. So look, I don't understand the point of bringing that up, because ultimately any criticism is deserved. But of course, hate, there's never a place for hate in the sport. Fabrizio Romano said this, and I again would question it. Liverpool don't want to judge any of their players just because of these 2 or 3 months that have been complicated for almost all of them. They should be judging them. It's the season. Look, you don't want to make a long-term decision. You don't want to write anybody off, that's for sure. But, you know, players are paid a lot of money to perform, and they should be being judged. That's what the manager does every week when he makes a team selection. He's basically judging who he thinks is in the right shape, who he thinks is in the right headspace, who he thinks suits the opponents. Again, there's just so much apologetic language being used for failures that have happened at the club over the last few weeks, and I don't like it. Just accept it. Own it. It hasn't been good enough. Don't try to make excuses. Don't try to say the club are happy with it. We all know they're not. No owners of any football club are going to be happy with a run of results like we've seen. Now, you can say that they're not going to panic about it. Absolutely fine. But any criticism has been deserved. Let's make that really clear. This from Mario Cartagena around the situation with Mark Gay, and no breaking news here, folks, as we've discussed this before. Mark Gay is not a priority target for Real Madrid currently. Nothing really earth-shatteringly new there. This from Lewis Steele, he said, Jeremy Frimpong is back on the grass and hoping to be back in around a fortnight, which is similar to Conor Bradley. Except it isn't, because Arne said something different. Arne said that he expects to have Conor Bradley back at the weekend, not in a fortnight. So, you know, journalists reporting different things. Lewis Steele saying he expects Conor Bradley back in a fortnight with Jeremy Frimpong. James Pearce saying that Arne Slot said that Conor Bradley will be available for Leeds away at the weekend. So, not 2 weeks. You can see where it can get confusing. Now, Greg Evans has said this: despite admiring pacey wingers like Antoine Semenyo, Liverpool are unlikely to rush into another signing an attacker after the heavy spending. The club is conscious of not hindering the development of Rio Ngamoa and want to see how Frimpong performs once recovered. This isn't good enough, because he's not playing Rio Ngamoa. So we're not blocking a pathway for a player who isn't playing. We're just leaving ourselves short of attacking options. So whether you want to sign Antoine Semenyo or not, fair enough. But we need to start playing Rio Ngamoa, or we need to stop talking about blocking the pathway, because all that's doing is limiting the choices for the manager. And Sky Sports have said Spurs are now intensifying their interest in Antoine Semenyo ahead of a potential January transfer move. So, again, if Liverpool do want Semenyo and Spurs make an approach, well, Liverpool are going to have to act quickly, much like we did for Luis Diaz when Spurs moved in for him when he was at Porto, and then Liverpool went and signed him. So that's where we're at for now, ladies and gents. Now, of course, I'll be back tonight, like I've mentioned, for the late night agenda at 8:45. Tomorrow, the Reds play at 8:15, which means we'll be live here on the channel from 7 p.m. for a watch-along. We'll take you through that, match reaction, player ratings videos. And of course, if you would like to be part of our player ratings, make sure you're signed up to the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp. Just scan the QR code there on the screen in front of you. That will bring you into our WhatsApp, where you'll see polls, transfer news and stuff like that. Also, the form goes in there for the player ratings after every game. Really easy to join. Just scan that QR code. It's completely free for everybody. And again, we appreciate your ongoing support. Our WhatsApp community is heading towards 16,000 people already, which is incredible. So thank you for that. Look, folks, I'll let you ponder on all of that. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will see you guys back here tonight at 8:45. Until then, have a wonderful Tuesday, and thank you for your time. We'll talk soon.